Well, this is Mission 96, also known as the mission Rangers avoid conversation about at parties, or the mission that Rangers wake up in the middle of the night about, weeping and sweating profusely. Well, Rangers have been made fun of for far too long. They have been plotting in their bedrooms with their Teddy Ruxpin dolls, and have concocted a strategy that will make even fencers jealous, and here it is. So we've been working on trying to beat Mission 96 on hardest with limits on just the two Rangers. And we found a really good strategy that works pretty consistent. The first thing you want to do when you start this mission is you want to kill all the drones, because the drones will not respawn. So, uh, well, first of all, the weapons you want to take, the first Ranger you want them to take an AF-99 ST and a level 55 volcanic napalm. And then the second Ranger you want them to take a level 55 volcanic napalm and a healing bomb. And so the person with the AFST will kill all the drones. So what I'm doing here is I'm just pulling the drones, the ones that are near me or the ones that are further away from the hive, so that I can kill them without pulling any enemies. If you do happen to pull a few enemies, it's not a big deal. Just you want to be careful not to pull any Hectors, because there are 6 Hectors out there. But as long as you attack ones that are closer to you or further away from the hive, you should be fine. But the way this map works is if you do attack a hive accidentally, as long as you clear out the enemies that are near you, the enemies will not keep coming to you out of the hive. They will stop coming after you. So that's what I'm doing right here. Is I'm just killing all the drones. The other person with the flame can't really do too much. As you can see, he's just shooting the top of the building, just in hopes maybe something will hit it, but doesn't really matter. But pretty much the way this mission is set up is, as you can see, there's 3 large hives and there's 2 small nests in front of those hives, and then there's 6 Hectors. So when you kill one of the hives, whether it's a small nest or a hive, then the remaining large hives will spawn elite versions of enemies that come out of them. So, for example, the left big hive has spiders on it, the middle hive has wasps, and the right hive has spiders. So say I kill the left big hive first, well then the middle one that has wasps will spawn a bunch of red wasps, and the right one will spawn a bunch of silver spiders. As you can see now, I'm rolling to the middle of the map, and I'm going to be attacking a Hector in the middle of the map. And this will pull 4 Hectors that are in the middle. So you have to be careful with these, because there are some Hectors with shields on the right side that have those pink grenades that are pretty brutal to deal with. But there should only be 4 Hectors that come after you. There might be a few spiders and ants, but you can always clear them out and they'll stop coming after you. So now I'm just going to finish off the remaining Hectors. You can wait till they get a little bit closer to you, so you don't risk pulling more enemies. But yeah, that's not too bad killing them. But anyway, so once you kill the first large hive, or the nest, if you kill anything, pretty much you kill any of these nests or the hives, the remaining the tall hives will spawn elite versions of the enemies that are on those hives. So spiders, wasps, and then spiders. And then the second thing that you kill, whether it be a small nest or a hive, will spawn 2 queen wasps. And then after that, anything you kill after that, any hive or nest that you kill after that, will spawn a bunch of golds out of the small nests. So it's always good to take out the small nests as soon as you can, because you can avoid having the golds come out, or as many golds come out. But anyway, so I'm killing those 2 Hectors. Now there's one more Hector on the far left side, which I'm going to kill and take him out. And then when you attack this Hector, you'll get some spiders and wasps and ants come after you, but you can just kill them and just be careful not to try to attack the hive, and then they'll stop coming after you. And then he's shooting a flame in the middle just to stop some of the enemies, which kind of helps. So that's one way you can be helpful with the flame volcanic napalm. And then there'll be one more Hector on the far right side that has a pink grenades and a shield, so he's not too bad. He's by himself. So we're just gonna heal up and kill the remaining enemies, and then move to the other side of the map. This map isn't too bad as long as you know that once you stop attacking, the enemies will stop coming after you, and also to try not to pull the entire map. And yeah, this strategy will work on Inferno or on hard or lower difficulties. Um, you won't have the volcanic napalm, but you can use the fire, the smaller fire, for the lower difficulties. But ultimately, this is going to be best for hardest and Inferno because of that napalm. So now I'm attacking this far right Hector, and then we'll just clear out the enemies, and then we'll get started on attacking the hive. So our main place we're going to gather together is underneath the bridge, and we're going to be shooting napalms to keep enemies from coming inside. We tried using the flame geyser, where you can shoot on the wall on the left and right side of the bridge and block the enemies from coming into the bridge, but it wasn't killing enemies fast enough. We also tried not using the flame tactic and just trying to pull enemies through buildings and just try and survive. But alright, here we go. I'm starting to attack the far left nest. I'm staying on the right side of the bridge because the enemies will come from the left side, so that way I'll have more time to attack the hive. They'll come to him instead of me first, and then I can attack the hive. So I'm just going to get as many shots as I can on the hive, and then once it starts getting dangerous, then I'm going to go underneath the bridge with him and then just shoot the napalm there on the ground. You want to try and shoot it in the middle, and you want to be careful not to hit a body, because if you hit it, or a live enemy or a dead enemy, if you hit a body of an enemy, as soon as that enemy dies and then despawns, then that flame will be gone, and you have to wait 20 seconds to reload it. So now I'm just once I cleared out a few enemies, then we'll just either, if we heal up if we have to, or we can continue attacking the hive. But any healing items that fall by the bridge, it's good to just keep them down there just in case you do need to use it later on to heal yourself. But you'll have a bunch of healing items here on top of the bridge eventually, because there'll be silver spiders that come out. The reason we're attacking the left hive first is because we're trying to avoid silver spiders, too many silver spiders to spawn, and also it's going to be the easiest thing to attack at the start, because if you attack the middle, then everything's going to come after you. If you attack the left side, you can at least kill that and aim at it pretty relatively easy. So once again, I'm just going to do as much damage as I can, and then retreat back underneath the bridge and heal up. I also always trying to keep my ST reloaded while I'm underneath the bridge, so that just in case something comes inside, I can kill it. But you always want to make sure you're reloading that flame, especially later on, because you want to make sure to keep that flame up always. And then he has the healing bomb, and you don't want to use the healing bomb unless you absolutely have to, because you want to save that for the harder phases. But now we're just going to clear out the remaining enemies again and heal up, and then continue attacking that hive. It takes quite a bit. We were checking out with Stringer how many shots it took, and it took 16 shots with a 18,000 damage Stringer to kill the hive. So it's quite a bit. One magazine of the ST, I think, does something like 16 or 18,000. So you have to do 16 complete magazines, or almost complete, to kill the hive. As you can see, we're getting a little bit low on health up the top of the bridge, but once we kill the hive, there'll be a bunch of silvers that we can get a bunch of health up top there, so it's not a big deal. But you'll notice the hive, when it takes damage, that it falls like 3 times three different phases where you can tell that it's being damaged. But it's not really too bad. But yeah, there's a big health underneath the bridge. I probably should have kept it there, saved it, but it's not a big deal. But you can tell when the big hive goes down because you'll see a bunch of red dots spawn on the map because of all the elite wasps. And that's what was killing us when we were trying to pull enemies through the bridge. We were trying to just kite them around the map and pull them and just kill them with whether it be fusion blasters or machine guns, or we tried rocket launchers, we tried stampedes, but it just wasn't working because the wasps, even the yellow wasps, were just chipping away at us so fast that we couldn't survive it. Because they hit you for a couple hundred, it seems like, each time, and they don't really miss. And then when the reds come out, there was just no way. We would just instantly melt when the reds came out. We tried even shooting flame around buildings, but it just wasn't working too well. Plus, it takes so long to get to this part where you kill the drones first that it just wasn't worth keep trying to hopefully get past it. There's just too many enemies for a ranger. But yeah, this flame actually shoots above the bridge quite a bit. And if you have to, you can always shoot the flame a little bit further inside if you can't quite reach out there when there's too many enemies. But yeah, I think this is where the red wasps are attacking us right now, because there's an awful lot of enemies. Yeah, there's some silvers. So yeah, so the hive went down, and it spawns a bunch of health, which is nice. The silvers. So once you complete that side, then you just work on the other side, and then I'll swap sides of the bridge so that I can attack the other side of the bridge. But yeah, the hive went down. So the reason we're doing the other one is because it's just because it's easier to reach at the start here. We don't attack the small nests until after the second one goes down, because the wasps are actually the least of our concern when we're underneath the bridge. So now I'm just going to go on the other side so the enemies come to him first, and I'll just do as much damage as I can, and then just continue going underneath the bridge with the fire. But yeah, we're working on beating. We actually just completed the entire game with hardest with limits, just me and him together. We thought that this mission would be the hardest, but it actually isn't. The only mission that really messed us up for a long time was mission 85, which I'm going to post a video on later this week. That mission is by far, in my opinion, from our experience, the hardest mission for two rangers with hardest with limits. We tried every combination. We had to give up for a while, move on a little bit, rethink, and then come back to it. But I would say this is the second hardest until we found this strategy out. But I'm also going to be posting a video on 97, which I thought would be a difficult mission, but actually it was not that bad. We found a really good strategy for it, and I'm gonna post a video on that too. It only took us 7 minutes, which is nice because it's a short mission, so you can always just keep retrying until you find it or till you get it. But as long as you have the limited or the recommended health that they say that you should have, it's not too bad. As far as killing that small nest, that was the hardest thing we're trying to figure out here on this map, because there's a building back behind us, behind the bridge. It has like a staircase. You can walk up to the top, and you can see the nest really well from up there. But the problem was, it was a long roll back to get back to safety underneath the bridge, so that was causing us problems. But it turns out you can see the little nest if you just stand in the right position, which I'll show here in a little bit, because this one should be almost down. And once this one goes down, there'll be two queen wasps. So there'll be the two queen wasps coming up here next. So it's not too bad. Pretty much what you're going to be doing is you're going to be trying to get the wasps on one side of the bridge so that you can see them without them seeing you. But the only difficult part is with the queen wasp is it's hard to see underneath the bridge because of the needles that come through the bottom. It's really hard to see, but they can't hit you at least, so it's good. But yeah, there'll be some golds on this. I think the hive, yeah, the hive I believe just went down. So now we're going to just clear out all the small enemies and just leave the two queens, and then we'll attack the queens, which actually were a lot easier than I was expecting. But yeah, you can see the huge needles coming through the bottom, so it can be difficult to see, but it's not too bad. Just keep moving. Also, yeah, another thing, when you're underneath the bridge and you're doing the flame thing, the reason we're moving left and right is because sometimes the spiders can shoot through the top of the bridge. So it's important to keep moving and rolling, especially when there's gold ants on the phases. You want to make sure to keep rolling so that they miss just left and right. But as you can see, even if the wasps are spread out a little bit, I can still get behind this wall to where I can just see their head. And if you can just see their head, then that means they can't chances are they can't hit you with their needles, so it's not too bad to take out these wasps. But yeah, as far as I can tell, the very first time you take out one of the hives, I don't believe there's any golds. There's just a bunch of red wasps. There might be some golds, but I'm not 100% sure on that. The second one just spawns the two queens, but then the third, anytime you kill the third hive or the third nest, it doesn't really matter which, then you get a bunch of golds, and that's the hardest wave until you kill the second, until you kill some of those two nests that spawn the golds. So we just killed the two queens. Now we're going to attack the small nest. So as you can see, where I stand right there is the best place to look at the nest that we found. So what I'm going to have him do is I'm going to have him stand on top of that thing, and then I'm going to jump on top of his head so I can actually see the nest. He can zoom in with his healing, so he can kind of help me point a little bit. But once you find it, you'll probably have to do it in 3 phases. This is the 3rd phase. I just fast forwarded to it, but as you can see, I killed the nest, and then you can tell you hit it when you see the brown hit where it's like a hit mark thing. But now we're gonna just hide underneath the bridge, and this is the hardest phase. This right here is the phase that has the most golds that come out. So we're rolling left and right. I'm making sure to have my 99 ST reloaded just in case like a gold right there comes in. I can switch weapons and I can kill it right away. And then just making sure I'm reloading the napalm to kill all the ants. And there's still a few left, so we're going to shoot some more flame. But if you can survive that phase right there, then you pretty much have the mission done. There will be another phase of golds, but it won't be as many because those 2 small nests, the one of which I just killed, is what spawns the golds. So now we have 1 less nest that spawns golds. So you could take out the little nest next, but the problem is you can't see it very well, so we're just going to take the hive out, the wasp hive out first instead, because it's so hard to see. So we'll have 1 more wave of golds, but it'll be half as many, so it's not too bad. But now for this, since there's just 2 left, then we're just going to attack it. We're going to attack the middle one now, and just we're just going to use the healing items that are down on the ground, and I'm just going to heal myself over and over again, and then just take it down until it's down completely. It looks like I cut that part out, so just to save some time here. But yeah, so you pretty much, I just took out the middle hive and just stayed outside and just killed everything and stayed alive with the healing and just killed it until it's dead instead of wasting time. And then the same thing, just use the napalm until the everything's dead, and then now this is the end where it's just the last nest. So we're just gonna roll up there and excuse me, shoot a napalm on it, and then it'll be over. But yeah, this strategy works pretty well, and we did it actually 2 times in a row, and it worked really well. So thanks for watching.